All right, what's going on, Legion fans? Welcome to another episode of the Falcon and Winter Soldier podcast, where we are looking at it's a bird.
It's a shield.
We both messed that one
That was
up.
botched.
Yeah, but it's a podcast anyway.
I have too little sleep. You can't just throw me in there like that.
Right.
I gotta catch up here, man.
That's okay. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
This is great.
You're here. This is good. Episode 2. I can't remember the name of it, so I'm going to look it up here. Oh, the Star-Spangled Man.
The Star-Spangled Man, yeah.
The Star-Spangled Man. It was a good episode.
It was a great episode.
50 minutes again.
I know. I am loving the longer cut.
I love it.
I got to tell you,
Yeah.
I watched this episode again with my wife and my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And I quickly caught my mother-in-law up, like, this is what happened in the first episode. Okay, you need to know this. Like, and then we jumped in, and the thing that was right off the bat, I was like, this is so much better than WandaVision. And she was like, what's WandaVision? And I was like, don't worry, don't watch it. It's like, don't do it. It's too confusing. No.
It's so good.
No. It's good for like, WandaVision is great for really, really, really committed and devoted fans.
That's true. It's more,
like,
it's more fan service.
It is not, I'm going to jump into the Marvel Universe and start with WandaVision.
That's true.
If you aren't in the Marvel Universe and understand all of the complexities of the stories that go into, especially with Wanda and Vision, like they are two incredibly complex characters. Why does this dude have a stone in the middle of his head? Like, and why is she a witch but not called a witch? And like all this stuff. If you don't have that, you're jumping in on WandaVision. Wrong place to start. Wrong place to start.
Yeah.
However, what I will say is these 50-minute episodes,
they're so fun.
They are making this feel like an extended movie.
Oh, yeah.
And you are dying for more.
Yeah.
The ending of this one, I'm not going to go there yet, but the ending of this, when it cut at the end, I was like, no! No!
I knew it.
You knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen, but they give you that glimpse and you're like, I want more.
Yeah. Though actually, in all honesty, when Bucky was like, there's someone you have to meet, and we'll talk about that later.
Right.
I thought that was going to be the end. I was like, oh no, don't end there. And then it kept going. I was like, more. Yes.
Who are we meeting?
I want to meet this person.
Whoever it is, take me to meet whoever.
Oh, Baltimore?
What?
All right, well, I've been there.
Yeah.
But no, it's just so good. Everything is it's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and it's really so it's really making you invest in Sam and Bucky.
Oh yeah.
So well.
Oh yeah.
And it's making you absolutely hate John Walker.
Yeah.
So well.
Which you should.
I know. And his partner Battlestar.
Right, Battlestar, yeah.
But
my
point around it is like you do not like them.
No.
You don't like them right off the bat. And they try. So let's start this episode. The thing that I loved about the start of this episode was they're trying to sell you John Walker so
He's just a normal dude.
He's just a normal guy.
He was a football star in high school.
He won 3 Medal of Honors.
Yeah.
You know,
he's a soldier.
He's a soldier.
Yeah.
If you had to like pick another cap, you'd probably be like, this is probably the right guy.
But
like,
you know what though? You know who he reminded me of?
Who?
He reminded me of the dude in the camp in Captain America: First Avenger that Tommy Lee Jones's character wanted to pick.
He wanted him,
but they didn't.
And they
pick
passed him over
because he was like the all-American perfect soldier, arrogant, like super confident in what he can do. Win all the medals. Like, he's that dude.
Right.
And that's the guy that they didn't choose.
Yeah, and that's where I think they missed the mark with who Cap was. And I'm going to get into that in a moment here. But the thing that I loved, and I was yelling at the screen, I'm like talking to the screen while this is happening, is when his girlfriend's in there and she's like, they're all going to love you. And I'm like, nah, they're all gonna hate you. Like everyone in the universe
at the
loves
beginning,
you.
Yeah.
Everyone watching the universe hates you, sir.
Right.
They hate you, and that's what I literally am. I'm out. I'm saying that. I'm literally saying that out loud to the screen, trying to like mock this guy as if he's gonna hear me correcting his girlfriend in the TV show. So
poor Wyatt.
I know
he seems like a fine.
And the thing is,
gentleman.
they're doing you're meant to feel that way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You're meant to feel that way,
yeah.
and I'm glad that they're developing it so well that you hate him so much. So that gets to my next point.
Well, before you jump into the next point,
go ahead.
One thing I love, and Marvel does this all the time, and most of the time.
Yeah.
But they create a villain or someone that you don't like, but that you can still understand and and relate to a degree, because
he's
you're like,
not one-dimensional.
He's not. Yeah, he's not just like pure evil.
No,
right?
No,
he starts in the right spot. He wants to serve his country. He has saved like countless lives.
Right.
He's a good soldier. He follows orders.
He talks about it at one point. Have you ever jumped on a grenade?
Yeah, and he's like
four times. Yeah, like four
like,
times. There's a thing I do with my helmet, but like it's reinforced. But like, that's beside the point.
Yeah, like he's obviously like he thinks, and just like every good villain, he is convinced he's where he's supposed to be,
right?
And he's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's good at it. And so it's like,
and
you don't like him, but he's
he
a
says
good
he
soldier.
Just wants to do the job.
Yeah, and he loves Cap.
Right.
Like he thinks Captain America is like his hero.
Yeah, maybe.
Like to a degree, he respects him.
You're right. This goes to my point.
Yes. Yeah. Go for it.
He respects him.
Yeah.
I think he does not understand him.
Agreed.
And here is my point around this. When he starts going through who Steve Rogers was, okay, when he's talking with the Good Morning America host, which great. Good morning, America. Man.
He practiced that one.
Yeah. But when he's going through that, the thing that he says, which is wrong, that is Captain America, is guts.
Yeah.
And that's actually wrong.
Right.
That isn't who Captain America was.
Yeah.
Captain America didn't jump on the grenade because he had guts.
Right.
He jumped on the grenade because he was the most self-sacrificing sacrificing person, and probably outside of what we see from Tony at the end, but the most self-sacrificing Avenger.
I
mean, he was always willing to what he rags on Tony about, which is like he's always willing to make the sacrifice play.
Right.
So it is his compassion, it is his sacrifice that makes Cap, not his guts.
Right.
Because guts, I think, is more about the person, more about the individual, than it is for everybody else.
Agreed.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the problem with John Walker.
Yeah.
Is he thinks it's more about the guts, which he portrays as being about others. Yeah. When it's really about him.
Right. And it goes back to what his Battlestar said to him in the locker room of you punch your way out of stuff. Like he's all about just going in guns blazing, knocking people out, forcing his way through to victory.
Yeah,
and it's
his will be done.
A power play. Yeah, it's a power play. And you're right. It's Captain America was less guts and more heart.
Right,
and he doesn't have that compassion, that sympathy, that sacrificial attitude.
Right.
Yeah, and he literally came guns blazing because in that first fight, it was so weird to see Cap use a gun.
Right.
Because he's like throwing the shield and he pulls a pistol and he like shoots. Which now Bucky used a gun as Captain America in the comics, but that that was going along with the Winter Soldier motif because he wasn't really trying to be Captain America. He was just wearing the mantle for a while. Mm-hmm. But like it was like, oh man, in the MCU, it's like Cap hasn't used a gun since the World War, right?
Yeah.
Back in the first Avenger, like he's kind of like anti-pistol. He just doesn't carry a pistol with him. That's so weird.
And it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
So here's where you see the real Cap.
Right.
Civil War.
Oh, okay? Yeah.
That's where you see who Cap really is.
Yeah.
In that situation. You put John Walker in that situation.
Yeah.
What do you think he does?
Well, he either sides with the government or he kills everybody.
Right. Yeah. Like he's either going to side with the government because he follows them blindly.
Yeah.
Which we see that a little bit.
He said in the vehicle, right? He says, well, we're pretty much the government.
Right.
Like it was like such a great line because it's like the whole first episode they made us not like the government.
He has very in this episode you get to see a little bit more of the personal side of him.
Yes.
But he also has a very few moments where you're like, that's the problem.
That's the villain, yeah.
That's the villain.
Yep.
That's the evil. That's the dark that you're really looking out for.
Yeah.
It's a couple times, and we'll highlight it a couple of times, but the problem there is if I think about him in Civil War,
right,
he probably kills Bucky.
Yeah.
Like, he kills Bucky or he kills Stark.
Tony. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, he kills maybe everybody.
Even Steve came close to dealing that fatal, like he
fatal blow.
He was brought up. He was caught up in the passion of that
but
fight.
But the difference there.
But he stopped. He disabled him.
He disabled him.
He hit the arc reactor so his suit would stop working.
Exactly.
Which is perfect.
Which
Cap.
is not what John Walker would have done.
No, he would have gone for the head.
Yep. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly. Good.
Go for
good
the head,
move
right?
there.
Like that. I'm tying it back. We're tying it
Marvel,
back in.
A lot of Marvel ties here.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
that is what I wanted to highlight about that first interview, which is like the government and John Walker. Missed the mark on who Cap actually is, was, and represents.
Yeah, he's an enforcer.
That's the problem.
He's an enforcer now.
Yeah, he's
not
thug.
a peacekeeper. He's an enforcer.
Yeah.
And then we get Bucky and Sam together.
Yeah,
which,
finally,
man.
And
I love it.
I have to tell you,
love it. Yeah,
Sam. This dynamic between the two of them,
I
love Sam.
Him.
I love Sam.
Yeah.
But like I told you in the last episode, I think I'm relating so much more to Bucky.
Yeah.
Bucky just gives no rips. He gives none rips.
He's 106.
Other than he's 106. He doesn't have time for this. He's dealing with people getting on his lawn.
Yeah.
He does not. He wants to get. He doesn't want any toys. He's not returning any toys to any kids that get on, like, fall on his property. Like, he is frustrated.
Yeah.
And what gets him with Sam, what gets him to respond,
is
this stuff with Cap.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and giving up the shield.
He outright, why did you give up the shield?
Yeah.
Just outright, there's no like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And that's what Sam gets at. Hey, good to see you too.
Yeah. And Bucky's like, no, I'm here
because
business at this point.
This is a problem you need to fix.
Yeah, well, we
are gonna fix it.
He brought up what we talked about the last podcast, that this is a tarnishing of the image of Cap, and not when I say Cap, I don't mean Steve Rogers. I mean the image of what Cap stands for as a symbol, and what Sam was, what Steve saw in Sam, and what Bucky saw in Sam.
But not even just that. We learn later on in the episode that it's what Steve saw in Sam. That he was right to take on the mantle of Captain America. He was worthy of it. He deserved it.
Yeah.
What I think he communicated to Bucky, if they had like that side conversation that we think.
Right.
But what I think he was saying is, like, Bucky, you are worthwhile. Like, you are needed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, you are.
You're not Captain America, but you're still
You are important.
Yeah.
You are needed. This world needs you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I think, like, and you should not. You are more than the assassin.
Right.
You are more than the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And that's what I think he was getting at. Maybe Steve was wrong about me.
That's
and
what
that
he
I
said.
am not more than the Winter Soldier. I'm not more than the assassin.
Woo!
So I think that's what he was getting at.
Yeah.
And that's why he is so broken up about this.
Right.
Because, they both idolize Steve for good reason.
Yeah.
But they also, he's gone now.
Yeah.
And they have to chart their course without him as their North Star.
Right.
Where do they find that? And they're both trying to find that in essentially each other a little bit.
Yeah.
And so for Sam, he's pushing Sam on, like, no, you were the one.
Yeah, you
Cap
were the next
chose.
Cap.
You were the one Steve chose.
Yeah.
Whether or not you thought that you deserved that, he put that on you.
Right.
And you needed to carry that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't carry that and that wasn't true, what does that mean for me?
Right.
And so he's dealing with that too.
Yeah. Yeah, and for the rest of the MCU, what does that mean for who gets the shield? Like, who gets the... So if Sam's not going to do it, somebody's going to do it.
Right.
And we've seen it now with John Walker. And in the comics, he becomes Super Soldier. And this whole episode brought to light the fact that there's way more Super Soldier serum around, obviously, because there's lots of people that have it.
And it may not be a full serum. And that's the thing that I did look up in the comics a little bit more.
Yeah, so they... Again, this episode was full of...
a lot of appearances names.
And name drops.
Yep.
And Isaiah Bradley comes in, which he took on the mantle of Captain America. In the comics, it was back right after Cap froze.
Yep.
They did experiments on people called the Rebirth Program, and they tried to to create a new version of the super soldier serum.
Right.
Everybody died except for Isaiah.
Right.
And they tested on him a lot, but then they ended up sending him in on like a Black Ops mission that he was supposed to die in.
Right.
In the comics. And he didn't die. He was captured. And then when he returned, they disavowed him. And the government accused him of stealing the shield and the Captain America outfit. And they put him in prison for a life sentence. Yeah. So, and he eventually was pardoned.
Horrible story.
So it seems very similar, except in the MCU, it was the Korean War that he was a part of, because that's where he fought Bucky and tore off half his arm, which is fantastic.
Great line there.
Yeah, but it was neat to see him, and what it seems that at least what Bucky is hypothesizing is that they've somehow gotten a hold of Isaiah's blood and Isaiah's genetic pattern, and they're using that to create super soldier serum.
So it could be that. Yeah. It could be that. The other option there, and Isaiah, I want to touch on that for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know about that storyline until this episode, and
so good.
You talking to me about that, but I was like,
as soon as he said Isaiah, I was
they are really digging into the black versus white scenarios
for
here,
sure.
and the racial tensions that go along with it, but
Definitely.
also the just injustices.
Yeah.
I mean, Isaiah doing the same things, and he is experimented on.
Yeah.
He is tortured. He's disavowed by his own country.
Well, he doesn't
sent get
by
a
his own
Star-Spangled Man.
Right.
Like, he is tortured by his own people.
Yeah.
And you see that then also play out in the scene where Falcon and Bucky are in the street.
When they leave Isaiah's house,
Bucky's the escalated one more.
Yeah.
And then the police come for Sam.
Yep.
And it's like, this is clearly they are showing the injustices against the black community, and even in comics, and that is I'm really excited for them to be digging into that more. I'm so glad they are. I think it's an incredibly important line for us to dig into more.
And it's something that comics as a medium has had the opportunity
and work
to do in
address.
The past.
Time over time.
So getting to do it
correct
now,
around.
in the cinematic world is awesome. It feels right at home for them to address those social issues.
Agreed. And I think Isaiah is a different.
Legit.
He's legit, but he's the same level of, or maybe just below the serum level of like Cap.
He's
like
probably similar to Bucky.
Yeah. So that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is the Flag Smashers.
Yes.
They where are they getting their serum from? And this is my point, because this is where I think there's a difference. The Flag Smashers are not, I believe, on the same level as Bucky and as Isaiah. And here's the reason why. They, at one point, name that they are running from the power broker. And they allude to the fact, they name that they are stealing medicine.
Yes.
They are stealing
to give to
drugs.
Camps.
That's what they think.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. In the comics, the power broker actually creates this Flag Smasher group, and this group of
the Ultimatum group
of superhuman, metahuman, powerful, enhanced super soldiers. But the difference is he is the power broker because he maintains power over them, and he has to continually be giving them the dose.
Oh, so they have to keep taking it.
They have to keep taking it to maintain their power.
All
so
right.
I believe here that there's going to be something going on where they stole this medicine, and this is actually what they need to remain enhanced, to keep their super strength and their powers, because we did not know the power broker was even involved in this until this episode. And he texts them that they took something from him that was his.
Right, so they took his serum so that they could stay enhanced.
Exactly.
I'm going to put one more on top of that.
All right, go ahead.
What if they are actually... So if you remember, so in this show, the Flag Smashers' slogan is one world, one people, right?
One world, one people.
And they're frustrated about how... They mentioned that the governments of the world... In the comics, the Flag Smasher character was about taking over governments.
Sure.
That were like toppling governments.
Yep.
So they're frustrated the governments of the world are taking care of the people who have returned from the blip and ignoring the people who have been here the whole time.
Right.
That's like their big beef about it, right?
Right.
So what if they are stealing that serum, right, to then give to all the people who have been here through the blip to enhance them, to create an army.
I was just thinking the
to
same
then go
idea.
over and take out and then topple those governments.
Well, not even just that. The idea of if we also go with the line of they want to be rid of superpowered people.
Right, right.
If everyone is enhanced,
then nobody is.
Hey,
Incredibles.
Exactly.
If everybody's super, then nobody's super. That was Syndrome's. Oh man.
That's when they could be on that road too.
Yeah, they could.
The difference that I believed between Isaiah and Bucky is they don't need any more of the serum. The serum's in them. With the Flag Smashers,
they're gonna have to keep
replenishing. They have to keep replenishing. Yeah. I bet that plays in the story here that when they fought Bucky, and they kept up with him. Well, there was also 6 of them.
Yeah, but he got pretty. Yeah, but she knocked him through the door.
But here's the thing. Yeah. So they were ready for that. They were all
He wasn't expecting them to be.
They were all ready for that to happen. It was it almost seemed as though
they were
it was a trap.
I bet you they knew they were there.
Exactly. Yeah. So then the second part of that is when they show up and they're not juiced.
Yeah.
Then what happens? Or they start to degenerate because they took it a while ago.
Right.
We see that happen
and
too.
They have to like shoot up while they're fighting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It could be something along those lines.
Maybe.
Or somebody their troops start to deplete.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, the thing that Bucky names is, I've got a vibranium arm.
Yeah.
I can take him.
Right.
Which I'm like, he can. Well, he should. The man's got a vibranium arm.
Yeah, if they were just normal thugs.
If they were.
He didn't know that. I wonder
he also did. Well, he knew that at least 1 or 2 of them were enhanced.
Well, he
said they're all super soldiers.
Yeah. But they assumed because they had seen that one dude on the video.
Well, yeah, and Falcon was like, he hits like you hit.
Yeah, exactly. So they assumed that there would probably be at least one person in there that could do it. But at that point, they only thought the leader that was the dude that had.
Yeah, and that was my point.
There,
that's what I thought was what Bucky was thinking, was that there's only 1, maybe 2 of them.
So
I can take them. I've got a vibranium arm. I'm a super soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and regardless of if this serum is permanent or temporary, I like the temporary idea. I hope that's the case because that then puts another element into it.
Right.
But I guarantee you that whatever version of this serum it is, that Walker and Battlestar are going to get a hold of it. Because in the comics, they're both powerful.
I bet you are right.
They both have the serum.
All of a sudden, it's they break up this Flag Smasher group.
Yeah.
And to only then the end of that being, we're getting juiced.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is we have an opportunity to get more powerful, to get on par with the original Cap and Bucky, right? So in the comics, Battlestar is the Bucky for U.S. Agent in the comics.
Right.
So so it's like that's like their way to kind of get on that same level and both become super.
So that's
I'm sure it'll happen eventually, because
when they introduced the Power Broker, I was like, oh my gosh,
that's cool.
This is a little bit different. That was not one of the. We knew obviously
John
Walker was in it. We knew
Walker,
Zemo was going to be in it, but we didn't have any clue that Power Broker was going to be in it.
There were a lot in this. We didn't know Power Broker. We didn't know Isaiah was going to. Right. I hope Isaiah is in it more. I mean, I don't know if he will be, but
there's talk of
his son being
a part of the Young Avengers.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And that's what there's all this rumor of.
Yeah, they got
Young
Wiccan
Avengers
and Speed
coming out of it.
Yeah, because Wiccan and Speed, they could age themselves, and once Wanda frees them from wherever they are, know, then they make it maybe good. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think that's way down the road, but I think there's a possibility for it. Why wouldn't you go after a Young Avengers storyline at this point?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. So we got Isaiah in there, and then we got Battlestar. The fact that Battlestar was brought in there, I thought was really cool. That was a really obscure one, but he was brought in there.
Well,
that's
it was obscure,
cool,
and it also, I mean, that drive, that ticked Bucky off.
Oh yeah,
right off.
Yeah, because it's like they're sitting across from the discount version of themselves.
Replacements.
They're looking at
replacement versions of
they're like, but you're just us, but less cool.
Which brings me to my favorite line. Yeah. My absolute favorite line from Sam.
Yeah.
When
John
Walker is trying
this is one
to
of the points
him,
of Walker's like he's not a good dude.
He's not right.
Yeah.
He's evil.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to convince him. He's making a good argument.
Yeah, he was doing pretty good at the beginning. And Sam was listening.
Sam was listening.
Yeah.
He was trying to convince Bucky to be listening.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, that last line.
Yeah.
It's always that last line.
Yeah, he calls him a wingman.
Yeah. And it's like,
you can't
my
do
man,
that.
this is an Avenger.
No, he's not even like
this is
wingman is someone that you use to get your end, right? You use a wingman to get your
to
end.
get your means,
right? To get the
to
girl
get
or
end.
get whatever.
Yeah.
That's what a wingman is for.
Yep.
Falcon was never a wingman.
Absolutely not.
He was first and foremost a friend, and then a partner. And he was an Avenger.
First off, having to be. So I was in the hospital with my wife. We rewatched Infinity War and Endgame.
Endgame, yeah.
I forgot that Falcon. You remember those giant beasts that Thanos brought with him? That they break the collars off and they unleash them.
Yeah.
Yo, Falcon took one of those down by himself.
Yeah.
He took his wings and
stabbed
him into his chest and then hauled back and did it again. And killed that thing.
Yeah.
We didn't see anybody else do that. That was amazing. You don't call that man a wingman. He can hold his own.
Yep, and that's what got him. He got right off that truck.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
He was done at that point, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's where I loved Bucky's next piece because Bucky was just like, let's take the shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where's you going to take it?
That was going to be my response. Yeah. I mean, sitting there, I was like, take it, knock these guys out. This is the time to do it. Just steal it.
Oh, yeah. You're faster. You're stronger.
Yeah.
But then Sam once again reinforces why he should be Cap.
Right.
Because he's like, you can't just run up and take it from somebody.
No, that's not the way he said it.
Yeah.
That's not the way he said it.
Well, he said
you can't just run up, beat them
up and take
and then take the shield.
But it's like
the last time we did that.
That's right. The last time we did that,
we were on the run for 2 years.
Yeah, right after Civil War. Yeah, it's like, that's Cap though, because no matter how wrong that person is, like, or how much you disagree with them, you can't just go and break the law and hurt somebody just because you want something.
And where did he learn that from?
Yeah,
he learned it from Steve.
Yeah.
That's why Steve, I believe, chose him, because Steve was able to model for him that what it takes to actually be Captain America.
Well, and Sam,
that compassion, that heart, that sympathy, that
but
love.
If you go back, Sam was already that, right?
True.
So he witnessed his paratrooper partner die right next to him, right? When they were in the air. And then what did he do? He came back and he worked with people with PTSD.
You're right.
And he walked people through.
Right.
Like, he already had that.
He had all of that.
And
Sam
and then
just showed, it was amplified. And then it was amplified.
I was going to say, Steve just showed him how to do it as a superhero.
That's true.
Like, it was just like, here's how you do it as an Avenger. You've got the building
You're already
blocks.
helping people.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, let me show you how to do it on an even grander scale.
Exactly.
That's true. You're exactly right. That is all credit to Sam because of that.
Oh, yeah.
Because
he was already that compassion.
He was already that person.
Yep.
And that's great. And then he took it even further with Steve. And that you're exactly right. That's what shows why Bucky couldn't be Cap.
Yeah, he's too.
And Sam was the right choice.
Yeah, because of his past, because of the brainwashing and the decades of just being forced into that assassin role. So much of him has died inside. He's not ready yet. Like, he may eventually get to that point.
There's moments where you think that man is straight up dead.
Oh, he's just
I love the
just
stairs,
dead
man.
staring
at you, dead-eyed staring at you.
Does he always stare like that? Yeah,
you get used to it.
All right, so let's wrap it up. So the end of the episode, we have one more instance before the final reveal. We have one more instance that you had pointed out, really stuck out to you about Walker.
One.
Yeah,
this is the real
one.
Oh yeah,
so it was all building up to that.
Sam and Bucky go through a mini therapy session, which I think is great. I mean, here's the thing, but here's the key moment. There's a lot of joking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of banter back and forth, but the key moment is. We close enough now?
Close enough now? This is what you wanted.
The key moment is exactly Bucky will let his guard down.
He opens
just
up a little bit
for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
He did it in the first episode,
Yep.
and he does it now.
Yep.
And he just opens it. And the problem is every time he opens it, somebody slams the door on him, which is why he then goes right back to that.
Yeah, they make a smart remark or something and he just closes it.
And shut down and staring presence.
Yep.
And so he opens up in that moment and he says, if Steve was wrong about you,
maybe he was wrong
about me too.
Yeah.
And that's the realness.
I love it.
That is exactly it. Yeah. So we talked about that already, but then when they leave.
Yeah, they decide that they're kind of outside the law as Avengers.
They're free agents.
They have a little
they
have a little bit more leeway than the US government does.
Right.
And so they were like, all right, we're going to just go and do it.
Right.
We're going to go and figure out what
John Walker bailed him out.
Yep.
And John Walker's telling the psychiatrist they're going to need to be freed up a little bit more.
Maybe a little more
Be able
flexible.
to meet your schedules.
And
she's like, on whose authority?
Yeah. And he just goes, mine. Like, he just points to himself. It's like, dude, really?
There's a real... There are about 4 words I was about to say.
There are choice words we could use.
Choice words
this
I was
is
about to say.
This is a family program.
4 of them.
Four
of them that I was going to say at least, and I pulled all of them back, and I restrained myself.
But he's all of them.
He's all of them.
All of them.
So you can, whatever pops in your mind on him, that's one of the words I was going to say. You're exactly right. So they meet him outside, and then they name for him like, we're not teaming up with you.
Yeah, we can't. We can't work well. It's not going to do it.
We're not going to. And he says to them, well, then you need to stay out of my way.
Yeah.
And the way he delivers that line.
It's a threat, man.
It is. You see a change. You see a whole change in his eyes.
Because he realizes
his demeanor.
He can't use them.
He wanted to use them.
Yep.
He wanted to use them to further his agenda and his ends.
If you're not for me, then you're against me.
Right.
That idea.
Exactly. He's going to punch his way out of this situation.
Exactly.
That was the change. And I was like, there.
Yep.
That is
There's
the
villain.
problem. There is the villain.
We have our villain.
We have it.
Well, at least one of
them. We've got at least 3
that's
now.
True.
So we've got John Walker.
Yep.
We've got the power broker somehow involved. And now
the
little hanger at the end.
Well, and we also have
the Flag Smasher.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the Flag Smasher.
Sorry, we have at least 4.
Carly. Yeah. Carly Morgenthau, which I actually looked up. Her last name is shared with a character in the Marvel Universe who was it was actually a guy, son of a diplomat.
Yeah.
So she might have some. That might be why she doesn't like government so much. She's got some ties to government. But
Could
regardless, she's kind of a villain too. I hope that she's the preserved daughter of Red Skull, because Red Skull was the one who was ultimately behind Flag Smasher and the Ultimatum and all of that in the comics. So I would love if she had some connection. And the red hand, makes me think of Red Skull.
I think it's a reach, but I hope for it. We can hope.
Cool.
We can hope.
She's got red
But
hair.
then we see Zemo.
So Bucky mentions Isaiah's comment about Hydra possibly being behind it, and so they reach out to Germany where Zemo is still being held after Civil War. And we get that one last glimpse.
One little glimpse of
his
him.
face. And then it's over. Oh, man.
So we got 4 villains involved here.
Yeah, at least.
At least. And
Love
it. Here's what I will say.
Yeah.
One of these villains is not like the other.
Oh. They just don't belong?
They just don't belong. I honestly think Flag Smashers are not going to be a big bad. I honestly think they're going to be misunderstood.
I was going to say, I think they want the right thing. They're going to want the right thing, but they're just not going to go about it the right way.
I agree.
Like, they want to help people, but they don't really understand how to do it well.
I think the 3 we're actually dealing with are Power Broker,
Zemo, and
Walker.
Yeah.
And I think those are our 3. I think the Flag Smashers they're going to be one of those ones where you believe they're somehow wrong or they're the big bad and they're being manipulated.
Team up,
and then we get a bit of a team up.
Yeah, maybe they realize that they're being controlled by somebody bigger, like Red Skull or like Zemo or whatever. And
or it goes to what you said, where they have a serum that they have to continually take.
Right.
And John Walker gets his hands on it. And then he is doing that, so they need to team up. And part of the condition of them teaming up and taking down John Walker, though, is
they stop
using it after.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Whew, there are so many good directions, and this show has such a great combination of like the buddy cop, the action, like political government like thriller show. the just regular MCU action show, and then like the crazy character development like drama.
Well, and
it's got everything. It's so great.
The amazing thing to me is I love this format. I love the way that they're doing this on television, because I was just thinking about this today. I mean, you think about like the first Avenger, you think about Civil War, you think about any of these that involved Cap, and they're 2-hour movies, 2.5-hour movies. Maybe. We're gonna clock in above all of those after next episode. Like we are already at an hour and a half to an hour and 50 minutes. Of good story.
Yeah, and it's not filler. None of it feels like filler.
No,
it's
just
all
it's a
solid.
great development, and so we are gonna get 9-10 episodes of this.
Yeah.
Well, how long? Oh no, it's only
six. Only 6.
This one's only 6.
It's only 6 instead of 9.
That's right.
Yeah, but they're twice as long.
They are twice as long.
So really, it's like 12 episodes of WandaVision.
It's 12 episodes of WandaVision.
So
we're
going
to get
more.
6. I forgot.
Yeah,
it's
only
only
6.
6. That's so disappointing.
Yeah, but
it's still 6.
It's like a 5-hour. It's like a 5-hour movie.
Yeah,
that's great.
So we're gonna see a lot.
That's so
happen.
good.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait for episode 3.
I know. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/Legion of CC. New episodes come out every Monday.
And Wednesdays.
No, just Mondays.
And Wednesdays?
I don't think we can do Wednesdays.
We can do Wednesdays.
All right, Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same Legion.